I'm going to give people literally a couple of minutes, and then we're going to go from there, and we're going to start a new section. And the good news is I didn't assign a lot of problems from 1.3. And the bad news is these are word problems, okay? And they're a little hard, and we're going to do it for you guys. I only assigned like 3, 4, 7 problems. I'm going to do most of them, okay? That's the plan. I know people don't like word problems. No one does. We are recording. Let me see. Yes. I think we are sharing the screen as well. All right, guys. So we're going to form a simple equation on our own from a story. And we're going to keep everything straight and do the math. That's the thinking. Let me take this guy. This is 1.3. There's nothing to lecture. I assigned you 5, 6, 9 through 12, 25, and 26. And 1.3 on MATLAB is also very short. Do some of those problems on your own before exam 2. Okay. I don't know how well you can see it. If you can't, you have to tell me. I can make it a little bigger. But in 2014, the average price of a new car was 37,000 and all those things, right? For the period shown for the basically 2004, I believe, new car price. Okay. In 2004, the average price was this. For the period shown, the new price increased approximately $1,250 per year, went up $1,250 per year. Okay. If this trend continues, how many years after 2014 the price of the new car will be? 46,350. Okay, so guys, I'm going to do it very slowly and bear with me a little bit. Okay, I am going to say suppose the price is 46,350 in X years. Okay, it's called defining the variable, and you really want to define the variable. If you don't define the variable correctly, your problem won't work. I didn't put a comma, but I have the right number. Suppose in X years, your price will be 46,350. Okay, you start in 2004 when the price was this. Every year it jumps 1250. If every year it jumps 1250, in 2 years, it will jump 1250 times 2. In 3 years, it will jump 1250 times 3. In 4 years, it will jump 1250 times 4. I think you're getting the point. In X years, it will jump 1250 times X. And this is an X, and this is a multiplication sign. And that's important, guys. So now we're going to write the equation. I'm going to handwrite it. I'm going to say, I want this new price. To equal the original price plus, in X years, it's going to add this much value. I mean, the cost will go up. It's not adding value to your car. Unfortunately, guys, I'm going to erase this. I need the room. I don't want to mess up my equation. Okay, so I'm going to write 1250 times X. Almost done. Now, 2 things are very important, guys. You write your equation correctly and you define your variable. Okay, this is the same X. Give me 1 second, okay? I need to show you guys this. Okay, this is the same X. Okay. All right, now solving for this equation is not that difficult. Subtract both sides. Subtract 37,600 from both sides. and you have 1250 here. And I'm going to just use my handheld calculator, guys, to find the difference from the left-hand side. And if you should do it too, 46350. And if I mess up, you'll have to tell me. 46350. And I'm getting this number. And give me 1 second. $46,350 minus $37,600. All right, so I'm going to write here. This is what my calculator is showing me. And this is not a very difficult calculation. I don't have to show you. I don't feel like it's necessary, but you have to tell me. And I'm going to write my right-hand side, which is 1250x here. Now, let me give me 1 second. All right, almost done. I'll divide both sides by 1250. And this side is going to be x. And trust me, I did it on my calculator. 8750 divided by 1250 turns out to be 7. So the answer is 7 years. That's my answer. It's very easy to check. I'm going to check it. I'm going to add 12. This is how I'm going to check this, guys. Okay. I want to show 3. Sorry. So how do you check something like this? You want to start with your original price. And then add 7. That's your answer. 7 times the raise, 1250. And this should be your number. And let's do it on our calculator so that we can all see, okay? So let me clear everything. Excuse me. Okay, so I want to show you 37,600 plus I got 7 years, 7 times 1250. It better be the number, the new price of my car, which turns out to be 46,350. I will keep my fingers crossed, 46,350. So I know my answer is right. So here it is. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to process it, guys. And it's the very first one we did. It's not very difficult. So in this section, we're going to take a word problem and come up with our own equation. Somebody's chatting. Okay. All right, guys, moving on. So this one is very similar. You're going to try it, okay? I'll do some of these. This is a very good problem. They are very similar. All these 3 problems are similar. If you want, I'll do some tomorrow. Let me try. So I'm going to keep track here, the ones I did for myself, really. You don't have to worry about it. If you ask me to do it, I can't do something. I'll say it's like 5, or I will say, okay, I'll do it, whatever. So we did 5. And these are my notes. And we're going to now do kind of the same deal. Very routine problem you will see in any college algebra text. All right. Okay. Half the battle is understanding the question. You are choosing between two health clubs. Club A offers membership for a fee of $40 plus a monthly fee of $25. What does that mean? The moment you join, you have to give them $40. You don't get it back every month. You pay $25. Club B offers a membership for a fee of $15. So interesting to note, it's interesting to note that this is more, but this is less than this. 25 is less than 30, but 15 is less than 40. So it's a trade-off. You want to pay upfront a lot of money, then pay a little amount every month, or you want to pay a little amount first and but a hefty amount every month. Hefty means $5 more. So I'm going to say then if you choose Club A or Club B, after a while, depending on how many months you use that membership, health club membership, you're going to break even. Break even, do they use the word break even? Let me see. Okay, let's see. No, they don't use the word break even. How many months will the total cost of the health clubs be the same? Okay. Suppose the total cost will be the same after X months. Let's write it down, and we have to define our variable very carefully. Suppose the total cost will be the same after M. Let's write M months. Okay. M, X, Y doesn't really matter. Now, so guys, Club A, I'm going to write the Club A cost here. For if you are there for M months, you will be paying $40 upfront. Then you'll be paying $25 every month. For M months, you will be paying 25M. And what's going on with Club B, guys? Okay, you will be paying $15 upfront. Plus, you will be paying $30 for M months, same M. Now, since they're saying, when would this cost be the same? You equate them. These two costs, Club A cost on the left-hand side in green, Club B cost on the right-hand side in green should match. And then solving this equation is not that bad. Remember, guys, you're going to bring all the M's on the same side. So I'm going to leave 30M here. I'm going to subtract 25M. And I'm going to take my 40, leave it here. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. 15 comes here. What do I get? 40 minus 15 is 25. And on the right-hand side, 30M minus 25M is 5M. Things are already looking nice. Divide both sides by 5. M turns out to be 5. I'm going to check my answer, but it seems like I did okay. So the answer is 5 months. Well, let me write it nicely. Here. Now, I'm going to check. Okay, now ask yourself, guys, ask yourselves, 40, you're Club A, okay? I'm checking my work. I'm going to just write A. What is the cost? How much would you pay in 5 months? 40 plus 25 times 5. And it turns out to be, this is easy to calculate, 125. 5 times 25 is 125. I'm getting $165 That's what you will end up paying at Club A. What happens to Club B? Let's use a different color. You will be paying a fee of 15 upfront, plus $30 times 5, because you'll be there also for 5 months, let's say. 30 times 5 is 150. 150 plus 15 is 60, 165. So we're good. We didn't mess up too bad. So the answer is 5 months right here. I'm going to pause here a little bit. Okay, guys? I'll give you problems like this on Thursday's exam. I can change the story. It'll be a gym. It could be a taxi, all sorts of things. It could be a, video game rental. But it's the same story. How are we doing, guys? Anybody wants to tell me anything? That I'm getting it, I'm not getting it? What about the people who are getting it? You want to tell us a little bit? The class is very quiet today. Anyone? That I'm getting it?
I'm getting it.
Awesome. What about the rest, guys? Getting it, not getting it?
Yes, I'm getting it.
Wonderful. So we are going to move on. But again, you have to tell me, can you explain that again? And all those things. So let's move on. A good sign if you're getting it. Okay, it's very similar. Okay, you're going to try 10. It's the same story. You're going to pay 22 plus 6, 28 plus 4, which is a better deal. Okay. Let's try one with decimals. Okay, people don't like decimals. So let's try one. Let's try 11. So I did 5. And this is for me. We did 9 and we're going to do 11. 5, 9, and 11. Again, you don't have to worry about it. It's something that I want to keep track. Let me grab this. People don't like decimals. They get anxious. I'm going to go here. Okay. Now, same kind of a deal, except for this time we have decimal and we have to be very careful. It's easy to mess up. So what's going on? A bus fare in a city is $1.25. So you just go catch the bus and you pay the driver, operator, $1.25. Okay, fine. But if you buy a pass, it costs you 15 bucks. Then you only get to pay, you show the pass, and then you only get to pay 75 cents or $0.75. Okay. Whenever you're dealing with money, always read the question very carefully. Make sure they're in the same unit. Sometimes they will say, instead of writing this, I won't do it to throw you guys off. But I've seen they will write this. Okay. Don't mess up. Don't mix dollars with cents. You want to be consistent. You can only have all cents. So $15 will become 1,500 cents, or you can have all dollars, up to you. I have everything in dollars. I'm not going to worry about it. Now, if you don't like fractions, sure, you can change it to cents. That's fine. Determine the number of times in a month the bus must be used so that the total cost is the same. Same story. Let's define our variable very nicely. Suppose the costs are the same after, let's see, let's say X, or let's do N uses. N times you ride the bus, it evens out. What's N? All right. So N time you use the bus, your costs are the same. Now you're going to say the first option. This is my first option. If you use the bus n times, you will be paying 1.25 n. That's option 1 in green. And option 2 is in, option 2 has 2 components. You will be paying $0.75 every time you write, so better write it down. For n times, you will be going like this. And don't forget to add your 15. Now, everybody has their own preference. Okay, this is a decimal. Okay, not a minus, so I don't want to mess it up. Now, this is a decimal. Now, you can deal with decimals. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of decimals, but subtract 0.75 from both sides, but be careful. I could multiply everything by 100 and decimals will vanish. Let's do that, guys. You can multiply both sides by 100. Now, if you don't want to do what I'm suggesting, fine, deal with your decimal. It's not going to be too bad. If you multiply the left-hand side, green side by 100, you're going to get this. You can't just multiply one side, you have to multiply the other side. When you multiply 15, this pink 15 by 100, you're going to get this. And the pink 0.75 by 100, 0.75 by 100, that's a little better. It's a personal preference. Subtract 75 from both sides. And 125 minus 75 is 50. And I still have 1500. And I'm going to divide both sides. I'm isolating n. I'm going to divide, and I can't forget this here. I know it's getting a little smaller. I'm going to make it a little bigger. I can move it. So don't worry, just tell me, can you magnify that? So I'm going to divide both sides by 50. And that turns out to be, of course, you can use your calculator, 30. I'm going to do a little quick check, okay? And I'm going to show you, if you use the bus 30 times, how much you will pay for the green option. I'm going to call it the green option, the first option. And I'm going to go back to your calculator. How much would you pay for the pink option, which I'm going to say is the second option. And let me go back and use my calculator so that you can see. Now, the first one is very easy. My n is 30, so I'm going to write 1.25 times 30. Okay, 37.5. And the next one is $15 plus 0.75 times 30. Hopefully the answers match. Woohoo, they do. Okay, so I know I'm right. The answer is, sorry. $30 uses. I need to use it 30 times. If I use it 30 times, doesn't matter which one. Now let's talk a little bit about why do we care about this one. These are actually very good problems. Think about it this way. You go to a city, you're visiting Miami, okay? You're not going to buy a pass, okay? It's going to cost you a lot. You're visiting Miami for 2 or 3 days, you're going to just go with this option. But if you live in Miami and you ride the bus all the time, you're better off using this one because you'll ride the bus a large number of times, hopefully every month. And these passes, they probably run, these are called monthly passes. So if you ride the bus 30 times a month, you're going to save money, or anything more than 30, you're better off going for the second option. So the good news is these are the things we use in our daily life all the time, okay? And people who know math, they can save money, they can make better decisions about how to invest, how to use money, and they're less biased about our society because they can see certain things a little better because they can calculate. So I'm going to pause there for a couple of minutes and let you kind of let this sink in and maybe ask questions. I'm going to erase this. This doesn't help anymore. All right, guys, I think we have time to do one problem. If you don't mind, if you have any questions, you can always say, can you explain that again? So guys, try this. It's very, very similar. Okay, same thing, exact same thing, really. Let's try this one, number 25. Let me write it down. I think we have done one of each kind. If I do 25, 25 is new, 25 and 26 are parallel, but I'm going to do 25 for you guys. Let's go here. And I'm going to move on. Let's try this one. A rectangular soccer field is twice as long as it's wide. Okay. My picture is not going to be perfect. Okay, this is my soccer field. Okay, perimeter. Perimeter, this city, Valdosta, has a highway called Perimeter Highway. Why is it called Perimeter Highway? Because it goes all around the city. So the perimeter of this shape is going to be this guy, plus this guy, plus this guy, plus this guy. That's what the word perimeter means, and they expect us to know that. Perimeter means all along. One more thing, one more important thing. This is, if this is W, I'm going to call it width. The length has to be 2W. My picture is not perfect. Now I can make it a little better, but I don't think it really matters. We are adults. We'll just assume my picture is good enough. Now, it says the rectangular soccer field is twice as long. The long side is 2 times the short side. If the perimeter is 300, so what kind of equation can I write? Remember, guys, I told you a second ago, the perimeter is this. Oh, it's not a good choice. The perimeter is this, plus this, plus this, plus this. So let's go ahead and write this. If this is 2W, this has to be 2W. If this is W, if this is W. So what kind of an equation am I going to write? Well, let me try this. I'm going to write 2W plus 2W plus W is equal to 300 yards. This is my equation, guys. W is the width, and I defined it pictorially. This is my equation. And what do we get? 2W plus 2W plus W plus W is 6W. 6. Actually, I can do better, guys. This turns out to be, sorry, 6W. Almost done. Divide both sides by 6. And what happens? Okay, your calculator will tell you, I think it's 50, if I'm not mistaken. Give me 1 second. I think that's right. So the W has to be 50 yards. What do they want? What are the dimensions? Dimension means the length times the width. The length times the width. So I'm going to say the dimensions are, generally we say are, actually almost always we say are, the dimensions are, now be careful, you want to put the units, 50 yards by 100 yards. Where is 100 coming from? 100 is the length, guys, all right? Where's 100 coming from? 100 is the length. Let's put the answer here. Okay, now, does it really matter on the exam? If you switch it, it doesn't matter really. You could have said 100 yards by 50 yards. It is 2 times. That's what the question says. Where does it say right here? Okay. So I'm going to let this sink in. Okay, I defined the variable on the left pictorially. I drew the rectangular soccer field. You will probably be doing it by hand. And again, I'm reminding you Don't try to enter everything. Give me the answer. So for something like this, you can say 50 by 100, 50 yards by 100 yards. You should put the units, and that's all I want on the exam. If you're going to enter everything, it may jam your system. Okay. During the exam. And our exam will be here before you know, day after tomorrow. And as usual, on third, we're meeting tomorrow. We'll have a short lesson. We'll do something. I'll be happy to, I can even turn it into a review session and go over things you want me to go over. And the plan is I have done one of each kind. This is parallel to 25. All these are parallel. I did basically gave you three clusters, and I did 4 problem. What is that supposed to mean? Well, I did 5 from cluster 1. I think the next one is very similar. I did 9 and 11 because one has decimal, one doesn't. I did both. Decimals, people find it a little difficult. I did 25 and 26 is exactly the same. Instead of a field, it becomes 3 times. And let's do 26. What difference does it make? We have a little bit of time, okay? Let's do 26. Only because we have time, you should be able to do it. Unless you guys want to do it for me, for us. Anybody? Do we have any questions on 25, guys, before I let this slide pass away? Do we have any questions on slide on 25? Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. So guys, it's a pool and the length and width are three times. It's a long pool. Pools are generally long. That kind of makes sense. So this time I'm going to say the width is W and the long side is 3 times. I'm going to make it 3W. All right. What is my equation going to be like? This is 3W. This is also W. In a rectangle, the opposite sides are the same length. And my equation is going to be 3W plus 3W plus W plus W is 320. Now, excuse my writing, this is the perimeter. That's why I can say that. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 8W. Divide both sides by 8. I think you get 40. And your answer is, W is 40, so you're going to write 40 yards. Feet, it says feet, so let's stick to that. 40 feet. And the length by, you can write by in English. The length is going to be 3 times 40, which is 120. That's your answer. If you really want to be nice, you would write it like this: 40 feet by 120 feet. And that's your answer. And I don't need this anymore. So that's all I have for today. I think we have done plenty of work today, and I know you guys don't like word problems. So here's my suggestion, guys. Do the ones we have done. Do the ones I haven't done, 1 or 2. And there aren't too many, as you can see. And go to MATLAB, try some of them. It's a good practice for you. I think for 1 point, this is 1.3. For 1.3, I think on MATLAB, I assigned 4 or 5 problems. So no matter what, make sure you do those word problems. It's going to help you. So we have 15 minutes of our class. Let's see what's going on. We have 15 minutes and it's going to kick us out in 5 minutes. Let's jump out of this session. Okay, I'll come back. You come back if you have any questions about anything. Okay, again, I'm not done. We still have 15 minutes. I'm going to use it to take some questions. I will jump out of this session And the next session won't be recorded. If you just ask me a question about where is that, it won't be recorded. If you ask me to do something difficult and I'll do it, I'll record it with your permission. I'll see you soon, only if you're interested. All right, guys, thanks for coming.